Wait, hold on a minute. That guy's still playing?
They are inches away. Toss it inside. Josh Gordon. Touchdown.
For every big name, can't miss star in the league, there's a previously well-known player that has seemingly fallen into a black hole never to be seen or heard from again. However, you might actually be quite shocked to learn that these 10 forgotten stars are not only still playing, but they're actually on an active NFL roster at the moment. Kevin White. You really gotta feel bad for White, who could have been the next big thing for the Chicago Bears if injuries didn't quickly derail his career. But on a more positive side, you gotta credit the man for sticking around as a pro. The West Virginia product didn't become the household name that many expected, but the resilient White is still in the league as a member of the New Orleans Saints. Bears fans know the story by now. Pro Bowler Brandon Marshall was traded to the New York Jets in the 2015 offseason. Chicago essentially replaced Marshall by drafting White with the number 7 pick that same year. White missed his entire 2015 season due to a fractured tibia. He was limited to just 14 total games over the next 3 years with the Bears, who ultimately moved on from him in 2019. White didn't play at all that year. He played 3 games for the San Francisco 49ers in 2020, but didn't record a single pass. The Saints signed White in 2021, and his one catch was a pivotal 38-yarder against the rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an upset victory.
Simeon wants it on the first play. Kevin White with his first reception in 3 years.
And the Saints wound up bringing him back after the 2021 season. Josh Gordon. When you think of the Chiefs receiving core, you think of Travis Kelce, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. But, hello, the 2013 NFL receiving yards leader is also on the roster. Gordon certainly looked like he'd be the next great NFL receiver during his monster 2013 season. Unfortunately, off-the-field issues and numerous suspensions kept him away from the gridiron for the most part between 2014 and 2021. But to his credit, Gordon has continuously worked at trying to better himself off the field, and his perseverance was rewarded with a Super Bowl 53 ring as a member of the New England Patriots, as well as subsequent opportunities with the Seattle Seahawks and Kansas City Chiefs. Gordon wasn't much of a factor in the games he played for Kansas City in 2021, but the organization brought him back on a new contract anyway. Perhaps Flash Gordon will stay focused and healthy and finally regain his groove with Patrick Mahomes. That would be an epic comeback story for the ages. Chase Daniel. It feels like it's been a long time since Chase Daniel was Drew Brees' backup in New Orleans. Well, that's kind of because it has been. The well-liked Daniel backed up Brees from 2009 to 2012 before joining the Chiefs in 2013. Chargers fans may recall Daniel nearly spoiling the team's playoff hopes in Week 17 of that season. With Alex Smith resting for the playoffs, Daniel got the start and took the game to overtime, which the Chargers wound up winning. Daniel spent 1 season with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2016 before going back to New Orleans in 2017. Then he joined the Bears for 2 years, making 3 starts over that span. After backing up Matthew Stafford for 1 year in Detroit, Daniel went back to the Chargers to back up Justin Herbert. But did you know that the Bolts wound up re-signing Daniel, who remains on the roster today? It's one of those classic, wait, he's still playing kind of moments whenever you come across his name. And from the looks of it, there's still more of those moments to come. Mercedes Lewis. Quite amazing that between the start of Lewis's career and his 2022 NFL season, we saw fellow tight end Rob Gronkowski win 4 Super Bowls and retire twice. Wanna feel old? Lewis's 2006 rookie year was also Drew Brees' first season in New Orleans. You know, it's quite admirable that Lewis has lasted this long, because let's be real, he has not been much of an impact player for a while now.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. Long time.
He was a Pro Bowler in 2010, but has only surpassed 500 receiving yards 3 times in his entire career. But the Packers keep bringing back Lewis on short-term deals, a clear indicator that they still value and respect him. It's just kinda easy for non-Packers fans to forget that the former first-round pick is not only still playing, but he remains a consistent starter on an elite team. KENJON Barner. What if we told you that KENJON Barner is a 3-time Super Bowl champion? Honestly, we were stunned when we found this out ourselves too. The veteran running back / special teams returner has constructed a pretty solid career for a guy who was taken in the 6th round back in the not-so-great 2013 NFL Draft. Barner was drafted by the Carolina Panthers, but became a more notable name when he joined the Philadelphia Eagles in 2014. He'd spend the next 3 years there before joining the Los Angeles Chargers. Then he went back to Philly in 2017 and won his first of 3 championship rings. He was also on the New England Patriots 2018 squad that won Super Bowl 53, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers group that won Super Bowl 55. In January 2022, the Buccaneers signed Barner to a new contract, which officially made him eligible for this list. DEVIN FUNCHESS. You know something funny about FUNCHESS? He's on an active NFL roster despite last catching a pass in the 2019 season. Back when Jacoby Brissett, not Andrew Luck, was the Indianapolis Colts starter. The former Michigan standout and 2-time second-team All-Big Ten selection was drafted 41st overall by the Panthers in 2015. Top receiver Kelvin Benjamin missed the entire 2015 season recovering from a torn ACL, which opened the door for FUNCHESS to make a much bigger impact. FUNCHESS had some big moments in his rookie year, as Cam Newton ran away with the MVP award after leading Carolina to a surprise 15-win season. FUNCHESS also helped the Panthers reach Super Bowl 50, where they fell to the Denver Broncos in Peyton Manning's final NFL game. FUNCHESS signed with the Colts in 2019. Now, unfortunately, he missed all but one game with a broken clavicle. He signed with Green Bay in 2020, but opted out of the season due to the COVID-19 pandemic. FUNCHESS was released ahead of the 2021 season and didn't end up playing that year. But did you know that in June 2022, FUNCHESS signed with the Lions, and not as a receiver, but rather as a tight end? Life is an adventure, all right. FUNCHESS went from being a top wideout in Carolina to becoming a reclamation project tight end in the Motor City. Wouldn't that be a career revival if he managed to find his game with the Lions of all teams? Josh Johnson. No, he won't be a Pro Football Hall of Famer or anything like that, but as far as a backup QB goes, nobody's experienced what Josh Johnson has. Johnson, who was drafted by the Bucs in the 5th round in 2008, has started games for 6 NFL teams in his career. Did you know that he's been a member of 14 different NFL teams? Not to mention, he also played for the Sacramento Mountain Lions of the United Football League and the San Diego Fleet of the AAF. The Denver Broncos signed Johnson in the 2022 offseason, making them the 14th NFL franchise he'll suit up for. I know, absolutely incredible. But what's also impressive is Johnson started 1 game for the Buccaneers back in the 2011 season. Though he stuck around on a plethora of rosters, he didn't start another game until 2018, when a desperate Washington team used him for 3 outings. Despite being part of almost half the 32 NFL teams, Johnson has started just 9 career games. He is 1-8 in those tilts, winning one of those 3 previously mentioned starts in DC 4 years ago. Hey, congrats to Johnson on continuing to live the dream as a full-time clipboard quarterback in the NFL. Tavon Austin. We waited a long time for that Tavon Austin breakout year, but yeah, that never materialized. As it turns out, his first 4 years with the Rams from 2013 to 2016 were his ceiling. Austin dazzled as a rookie for the Rams. With explosive speed and dynamic route running abilities, he looked to be the team's key offensive weapon going forward. Keep in mind, this was before Todd Gurley and Cooper Kupp arrived. Austin has bounced around from team to team to team since getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys in 2018. Unless you're a diehard Bills fan, you probably missed the news that he's now part of the Josh Allen-led offense in Buffalo. That's right, the Bills signed Austin late in the 2022 offseason following an underwhelming 2021 campaign in Jacksonville. Jordan Matthews. Doesn't seem that long ago where Matthews was once an underrated secret weapon for fantasy football teams. Newsflash, it's actually been quite a while since those days. Matthews was selected by the Eagles in the 2nd round of the 2014 draft. He surpassed 800 receiving yards in each of his 3 years with the organization. But ahead of the 2017 season, Philly dealt Matthews and a 3rd-round pick to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for veteran corner Ronald Darby. The latter played a big role in Philly's Super Bowl 53 championship season. whereas Matthews' career started going downhill after he joined Buffalo. Matthews never cut it as Sammy Watkins' replacement in Buffalo, and they moved on from him after just 1 year. The Patriots signed, then released Matthews in 2018, and he was brought back by Philly in the midst of their Super Bowl championship defending season. Matthews' travel agent just kept getting busier from there, though. The 49ers signed Matthews twice, only to release him on both occasions. The Eagles signed him for a third tenure in the midst of the 2019 season, before releasing him yet again. So where in the world is Matthews these days? Well, he's now a tight end on the 49ers roster. It has been more than half a decade since Matthews was viewed as a future number 1 wideout in Philly. All of a sudden, he's now on the 49ers as a tight end. Man, where did the time go? Nathan Peterman. The name Nathan Peterman lives on in Bills and Chargers lore forever. I mean, who's gonna forget the 2017 game where Peterman threw not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 interceptions. Sean McDermott is one of the best coaches in the game today, so he's sort of atoned for his awful decision to start Peterman over Tyrod Taylor that day. But still, what on earth was he thinking back then? And yet, despite that atrocious outing as a rookie, Peterman keeps on landing short-term gigs as a third or fourth stringer in the NFL. He stayed on the Raiders roster from 2018 to 2021, though he never actually started a game there. After the 2022 draft, the Bears signed Peterman to serve as a backup to Justin Fields. The dude with 3 career touchdowns against 12 interceptions on 135 pass attempts is somehow still finding work today.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Peterman's NFL career is shockingly alive and well, folks. But what other NFL players do fans often forget are still playing today? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.